Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I am your host, Josh Engel. Thank you for tuning in today. Today our guests are the Vice President of Carroll EMC, the Communications and Economic Development, Jay Gill, as well as the Communications Director from Carroll County, Ashley Hulsey. And we're going to be talking today about SPLOST, the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. Early voting is going on now for that. The official election is going to be next Tuesday, March 16th. Why don't we get right into it? Jay, how about you tell us a bit about SPLOST? What is SPLOST?
Good morning. Well, obviously, it's the special local option sales tax, and I think the important thing to remember here is that this is not a new tax. This is an old tax. All we're doing is renewing it. And it's a way for us to capitalize on tourism and travel that comes through our area. Where people stop and get gas, buy a Coke, get a meal, whatever. They're helping contribute to our county tax dollars, which goes back into infrastructure and things that we use in our community every day. So it gives a little bit of it relieves a little bit of the burden on the taxpayer and the residents of Carroll County. And it's not 50 or 80%, but it is 30%. A third of the money that we collect from taxes are from outside of our footprint. People don't live here, so it's become kind of an essential tool to having modern facilities and upgrading and upkeeping and maintaining roads and bridges and school buildings and you name it. Of course, the Friends for Carroll County Progress is our nonprofit that advocates for SPLOST. Myself and Kirby Butler is our secretary and treasurer, and we do it through Education SPLOST. We do it through County SPLOST. It's our way of cheerleading and trying to encourage the residents of Carroll County to vote yes for the SPLOST and continue it because it's essential to our infrastructure. And so that's what our organization does. We can raise money and advertise and things like that. The county and the different municipalities affected can identify projects, which I know we'll get into a little bit with Ashley, so that people can see the past results and see what we've done with the money in the past and how it benefits our community, how it keeps some of our other tax rates lower. And things like that. So I think I just rambled on and got it all jumbled into one box and shook it up.
That's great. Let everyone know up front. This is a good thing, and we need your help. And it's a renewal. It's something that's been going on now for, I believe you were saying, close to 30 years?
Yes.
Is it 1987 or 97? I saw two different dates there, but I guess it would be 87.
It goes back to the 80s, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to pull your mic a little bit closer.
The 80s. I didn't want to cut Jay off.
Sure, of course.
No, it does. It goes. It's a little bit longer than that. I think we've been really documenting heavily over the last 20 and 30. My father was very involved with it, and some of our peers here locally and business people in the community have always come together to help kind of make this happen.
And it's pivotal for our infrastructure. This year, it looks like it would be an estimated $119 million that would be raised, which can go towards the betterment of the county. Can we talk a bit about just the history? We just mentioned there sort of generally what SPLOST is. We know that it has been around since '87. What would be the history of this tax here?
So the $119 million is an approximate estimation of what we would collect over the next 6 years. SPLOST is a set term limit, so it runs for approximately 6 years, and we would collect that over that amount of time. So in the past, we've used these project money for infrastructure, which would be Public Works, our Public Works Department. They're kind of the unsung heroes of Carroll County. If you've ever traveled through Atlanta, and you've seen the potholes and you've been up there and how much you hate to drive on those, when you come to Carroll County, we're very fortunate, and we do know that there are still roads out there that need improvement, but we're very fortunate when we were recruiting new businesses, homeowners, people that we want to have in the community. They can come in and drive on pretty paved roads. So that is a huge chunk of that money is spent on the infrastructure through Public Works, culvert pipe replacements, new striping on roads, which is a big liability. I've kind of been making the Civic Club circuit, speaking to different clubs about the different aspects of SPLOST, and believe it or not, I get a little interest in talking about restriping roads. It's not a fun, fabulous project, but if you drive at night or in inclement weather, it's great to be able to see, right?
And we've all been somewhere out of town in the rain at night, and you're just like, how do they not paint these lines? I can't see anything.
Absolutely. And we are starting to implement a thermoplastic striping. It is a little bit more expensive, but it lasts a lot longer. It is way more visible in inclement weather and at night. So that's something we're really excited about. We started using that a while back. So that Of course, we have a new gymnastics premier facility over at our rec department. Gymnastics is really big for our kids in our community right now. The rec department is a huge, huge deal, and we really like to pour a lot of love and attention into our rec department because we like to keep our kids in Carroll County busy. And so that public safety is huge, being able to make sure that we have nice, safe equipment for our public safety, fire department, sheriff's office, and things like that. So we have a lot of different projects. I mean, I could go on for 20 minutes and tell you all the things that we've done just with this past splosh. The Ag Center, which is right here, just a minute down the street from where we're sitting. We've done some major improvements down there. That is the most utilized facility within our county. It attracts people from all over the nation.
That new sign is slick.
It is.
Saw it at the red light the other day.
And, so we were able to do a lot of stuff through the Ag Center, and the Ag Center gives back to our community. They do a lot of education, leadership, 4-H clubs, and Carroll County is agriculture. We have a large agricultural community here, so bringing those people in again as that 30% who's here, they may be coming to a cattle show or they may be doing something at our Ag Center. They're eating dinner here. They're shopping at Walmart. They're stopping at the gas station. So they're all contributing to those infrastructures, to those projects that we mentioned.
And how many cents on the dollar would be utilized?
So it's 1 penny. It's 1 penny. It's 1% special purpose local option sales tax is what it is.
So that 1 penny, do we have an idea about how much was raised during this past month?
I do not have that current number in front of me, but I would be glad to provide it to you. I don't want to give you the wrong estimate on that.
See the results all around us, both in the road, Ag Center. The gymnastics facility is unbelievable. We had the rec center on not that long ago, and it was such a fabulous facility.
In our gymnastics center, we're very fortunate. It serves as a multi-purpose facility. So we have pickleball now, which is starting to be a huge thing.
Sure.
And we also, before COVID, we're able to utilize that facility for different events, birthday parties. We did Christmas in the Park this year, which was really big, and we were able to utilize that space.
So we have a couple of minutes before we take our first break. I wanted to ask, Jay, what are some common misconceptions about SPLOST?
Misconceptions. I think it's some people think it's a slush fund for government, and that's simply not true. Legally, there's been times where maybe you didn't collect as much as you thought you were, so you had to push a project into the next term and things like that. And so people will take that and kind of blow it out of proportion. But at the end of the day, there's a ton of transparency that comes with it. And so when you got these projects listed out, a lot of times they have a great idea of what it's going to cost. You have cost overruns, or you may have a collection issue in a certain term. But it's the transparency, I think, is what people mostly misconceive about it. And then there's some groups that just are anti any taxation, and the truth is we got to have some. One of the things we were talking about candidly, and I'm gonna probably get thrown in the bus here, okay, is that Carroll County, our millage rate and what we pay in taxes on property is actually exceptionally low. When you look at nationwide statistics, you look at Georgia statistics, we are way too low. And at some point, we've got to start incrementally creeping some of that up on our property side. But at the end of the day, we've got a very transparent government. We've got a very synergistic government that works with our Chamber of Commerce, works with our education, higher ed, everybody. The collaboration in this area is not seen in other places. I work in multiple counties because we're a regional system. And we do not have, there's only a couple of counties that we work with that have the type of synergy we have here. So synergy, transparency, accountability's there, trust in your leadership. And if you don't, vote them out.
Amen. And folks can find out all of this information on the county website, correct? Where they can see exactly where it's going.
Yes. We have a nice flyer out, and Carrollton City has put a flyer out as well. And call us if you have questions about specific projects, or we've gotten some calls, hey, I want my road paved. That's something that we can discuss with our public works department, because we do spend splosh dollars on that. But we're here, we're transparent, we want to talk about these projects, and we want to answer any questions anyone may have about them.
Excellent.
And you've got other municipalities too. I guess you got Bowden and Villarreco.
We have Bowden, Rooteville, Mountain Zion, Villarreco, Carrollton, and Temple. Yeah. So we have a lot going on. And like he said, we're just so fortunate in the West Georgia area that we all work very well together. So we're very fortunate in that we have open communication between our county and our municipalities.
Excellent. Well, it's 8:40. We're going to take our first break, but when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Jay Gill, president of Carroll EMC, representative of the Friends for Carroll County Progress, as well as Ashley Hulsey, the communications director for Carroll County. So stay with us.
Travel, get-togethers, Sunday morning worship. COVID-19 has almost put a stop to our way of life. Vaccination is our best shot at getting back to normal. The COVID-19 vaccine is based on more than a decade of research. Trials show it's safe and can provide up to 95% protection when you've received both doses. Tanner is committed to making the vaccine as widely available as possible, giving you a shot at getting back to life. Until then, keep wearing your mask, washing your hands, and avoid gatherings. Learn more and get updates at tanner.org/vaccine.
Oak Mountain Academy would like to invite you to join us for our 33rd annual Spring Gala. This live virtual event will be held on Saturday, March 20th, beginning at 6 p.m. Professional superstar auctioneer Seth Weiner will be our host for the evening. Seth will guide us through the live and silent auction portions of the evening and facilitate a variety of games where the winners take home prizes. If you love a good scavenger hunt, think you can name that tune, or are a bingo champion, you won't want to miss this free event. Register today at oakmountain.us for a virtual evening of fun, games, and entertainment.
And we're back to Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. We have Jay Gill, the Vice President of Carroll EMC and representative today for the Friends for Carroll County Progress, as well as Communication Director for Carroll County, Ashley Hulsey. We're talking about SPLOST, the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, which is now upon us. The early voting is going on now, and the election will be March 16th. That's next Tuesday. If you're just tuning in, be sure to go back and check out the Facebook live stream of this episode so you can catch up with the first section there, pivotal information there. We'll continue our conversation now with. So let's talk about a bit about the distribution, just in terms of percentages. How much goes where?
So, like I mentioned earlier, it is estimated that we would collect around $119 million over the 6-year term, and we would, as the county, would take 62% of that. So the rest of the percentage would be divided between all of our municipalities. And a lot of people don't realize too that Bremen has a stake in this as well, because they have a little piece of their municipality that's located in Carroll County. So they're included in that as well. The county is looking right now that they would get about $74 million of that when it's all said and done.
Excellent. So do we have an idea of what some of the projects that we are expecting, that
yes.
Upcoming projects?
Yes. So one of the big topics of discussion has been an admin building. If you voted in the 2013 SPLOST, you may remember that was included on the referendum at that time. And we had a different board of commissioners, and we had a lot of things go on with that. We had the courthouse. Needed some major repairs, and so some of the money that was allotted for that admin building had to actually go into the courthouse so that we could get our Justice Center fixed. And now that portion is done and our lawsuits are settled and we're moving on, we have a very committed board right now. They are working together tirelessly all the time, looking at spaces, they're looking at land, they're looking at a lot of different possibilities, because that really is something major that this Board of Commissioners wants to do, because we want to be able to provide services in one location in a nice building that people like to come into, that's going to be convenient for everyone within our county, because even our municipalities, those folks are coming in, they're buying car tags, they're paying taxes, voting, and things like that. So that is a huge project that we're looking to do fairly soon. And then we have a fire station. If you're familiar with Villarreco, we have a fire station located off Industrial Boulevard and Highway 78. That is Station 9. It was built in 1981. It is a very dilapidated old fire station, to say the least. That is our busiest fire station in the whole county. Just in 2020 alone, they answered almost 2,000 emergency calls from that station. So we are looking to build a new station across the street where the old GSP 3 Post 4 used to be. The county actually owns that land, so that'll be utilized for that purpose if Splosh is continued. And so we will be able to serve North Carroll County and Villarreco much better. Having that 3 to 4 bay where we have a 2 bay now, we'll be able to have more equipment. And Lord knows, I call it the Hot Mess Express on I-20. They answer a lot of emergency calls down there. Public safety does every day with the construction that's going on. So we're looking at maybe some QRV vehicles, which are quick response vehicles. Those fire trucks cost around $1 million. So every time we take one out for something as minor as a fender bender or something like that, that's a lot of taxpayer money going down the road. And you increase your chances of them being wrecked or something happening to them. But with these QRV vehicles that we'll be able to store here, that would be much quicker response time, and it would be a lot safer and more efficient for everyone and dollar-wise as well. So those are our 2 major projects that I believe the board is committed to. And then we have a lot of other projects like within our parks, at our rec center, public safety, our public works, just to name a few.
Excellent. And how exactly are these projects decided upon?
So the Board of Commissioners spends a lot of time when we're in these Splosh. We have board retreats where they come together. They speak with the department heads. They really take into consideration what their needs are, because who knows better than the people that are running those departments what the needs are, who are communicating with the citizens in our community to know how we can better serve them. So we spent days and days and days, 8 to 10 hours, looking through proposed projects. Each department head turns in something, and then it's kind of whittled down and narrowed down to the most important projects that we feel that would serve our community the best.
Excellent. So as a representative of the Friends for Carroll County Progress, how does this fit into the bigger picture? I mean, I know that your group is dedicated to getting this information out here, putting commercials, advertisements on the radio so that folks know to be best informed about the upcoming SPLOST.
Yeah. So, the organization is primarily made up of citizens who are involved at many levels. You've got business people, you've got educators, you've got, leadership in different cities represented from all over the county. So basically it's stakeholders in the county who care about this type of infrastructure, that knows the savings that comes with, and let's be honest, there's a lot of debate, but a consumption tax is probably the most fair tax. I can choose whether or not to buy a Coca-Cola. If I'm really concerned about that one extra penny on sales tax per dollar, then I cannot buy it. No one's making me do it. So it's a good system. And so there's I think the business community, I think a lot of the government community, the different citizens, different places of education and healthcare have a lot of faith in this type of supplemental income, really. And again, it keeps our tax base, quelled. Now, I said it before, we're way low on the scale of nationally and even at the state level, very low. We've got to start making some decisions down the road. They're going to be tough, but not that tough. This eases that decision. This helps supplement it,
because that provides a source of there's a source of cash flow that can be used for this infrastructure without having to raise the taxes.
Correct.
That's what you mean.
Correct. So if instead of going up however many mil, you might only go up half that down the road. Whatever it is, whatever the formula is that works. We live in a great area. We have a lot of amenities that a lot of people don't have. When people come from out of town, from around the state, they're like what Ash was mentioning earlier, when they come through our community and see so let me back up. Carroll County on paper is poor. We have a lot of areas below the poverty line. When people come to our town and see the amenities and see the lifestyle that we have out here, they can't understand it. They're like, this is crazy. Well, the truth is that we do things right. For example, these SPLOSTs, we do education SPLOST and we do a general county SPLOST. We know how to supplement that income, but we also have a tremendous amount of benevolence. We got a lot of citizens that know that if we're being taken care of on this end, we're going to continue to take care of our community on this end. When we look at our high school stadiums in the area and the amount of private dollars, they're public-private, those deals don't happen in Atlanta. They don't. because there's not as big a sense of community and pride and taking ownership in where they live and work and with the other peers and things. But it comes back to the stakeholders to answer your question. So we're all in this together, and if we have mechanisms in place like a SPLOST or an education SPLOST, then we can use other dollars elsewhere. We're not having to subsidize it. So, and it'll help protect our tax base. So maybe those are the three main areas.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take our second break, but when we come back, we will continue our conversation with Jay Gill and Ashley Hulsey as we talk about the upcoming SPLOST election. So stay with us.
Oak Mountain Academy would like to invite you to join us for our 33rd annual Spring Gala. This live virtual event will be held on Saturday, March 20th, beginning at 6 p.m. Professional superstar auctioneer Seth Weiner will be our host for the evening. Seth will guide us through the live and silent auction portions of the evening and facilitate a variety of games where the winners take home prizes. If you love a good scavenger hunt, think you can name that tune, or are a bingo champion, you won't want to miss this free event. Register today at oakmountain.us for a virtual evening of fun, games, and entertainment.
Travel, get-togethers, Sunday morning worship. COVID-19 has almost put a stop to our way of life. Vaccination is our best shot at getting back to normal. The COVID-19 vaccine is based on more than a decade of research. Trials show it's safe and can provide up to 95% protection when you've received both doses. Tanner is committed to making the vaccine as widely available as possible, giving you a shot at getting back to life. Until then, keep wearing your mask, washing your hands, and avoid gatherings. Learn more and get updates at tanner.org/vaccine.
And we're back to Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. We're having too much fun here in the studio talking about SPLOST. How are we having so much fun talking about SPLOST? We got Jay Gill, the Vice President of Carroll EMC, also representative for the Friends of Carroll County, Friends for Carroll County Progress. They always come up to the bat when it comes to SPLOST. And we also have Ashley Hulsey, who is the Communications Director for Carroll County. So if you're just tuning in, be sure to check out the Facebook Live stream of this episode, as well as the podcast of this episode, which will be uploaded to this station's website, as well as gradacommunications.com. You can check out that live stream on WLBB's Facebook page. We did have a very kind comment come through here. So much good energy in one room. Holly Presnell. Awesome group and great info.
Wow, coming from Holly, that's kind of a big order.
Hey, yeah.
Isn't she West Georgia's sweetheart? I think
she is. Yeah, she is.
I think she truly is.
She's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, everybody loves Holly. As we're talking about SPLOST here, it appears that early voting in Villarreco, we wanted to chat a bit more about that.
Yes, so early voting is going on right now. You can go down to the Board of Elections office located on College Street. You can vote today through Friday, but we also have a polling place located at Powell Park in Villarreco, so those in the north end of the county can vote there all week. And then, of course, we have Election Day where all the precincts will be open, and that will be next Tuesday, March 16th.
Excellent. Now, there is a town hall meeting. It's a virtual
Well,
town
you
hall
can
meeting.
attend in person.
Okay.
We did, ask for questions beforehand just because we have so many participants. So Chairman Morgan is hosting a town hall meeting at 6 p.m. tonight at the Historic Courthouse. It will be in the Carroll County Board of Commissioner chambers in the Old Superior Courtroom there, and that's at 6 o'clock. But because of COVID and because people just are living in a virtual world right now, we want to make sure that they're able to tune in to Facebook Live. It'll be streamed here on Graddick Communications and through our Facebook page as well. But so she is going to be there with officials from other municipalities throughout the county, and they will be speaking on specific projects, past and present.
So they'll be able to expound even further on some of the
Yes,
projects we've been discussing.
Absolutely.
I
highly recommend you tune into that.
Excellent. So that will be 6 o'clock. You can tune in at the courthouse. You can go in person, or you can tune in on Facebook.
Yes.
And what Facebook page would people go to for
So
that?
the Carroll County GA Facebook page, which is our Carroll County Municipal page, or they can tune into Graddick Communications here, and it will be streamed. They're going to stream it just like they do our Board of Commissioners meetings. So you can stream live there, probably get a notification on your phone that we have a town hall meeting, and we're really excited about the participants in that and hope that it answers even more questions about the specific projects that the cities have.
Excellent. Presented in high definition, thanks to the Graddick Communications videography team.
He's the best.
Joel just threw up a wave
He's the
there.
unsung hero of Graddick
right.
Communications.
Hey, he really is. This whole building over here, they do a lot.
Right.
Now, as far as the Friends for Carroll County Progress, there's also a Facebook page there where folks can get information.
We're gonna post occasional information, and like we've got a couple of the flyers out there that actually list these projects. Then people can go out and take a look and see what's being worked on. And we're not posting every 5 minutes. We're going to post things that matter and that people can take a minute and check it out. But we need to get people to the polls. Everybody's got voter fatigue. We're exhausted from last year and January for that matter. So it's hard to get people excited about getting back to the polls again. But there's only one item on there, like Ashley mentioned, this early voting's already been underway. I went last week. There's very short lines everywhere. It's easy to get in and out. And there's just not as much controversy with this one. This is an easy vote. You'll sleep better at night. Your hair will grow back, and you'll lose weight. So we highly recommend people get in there and do this right now.
Wow, yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I need to go over there right now then.
I think I see Steve Graddick's hand go up. Is that true?
Possibly.
Or was that Colin?
I think that was Colin.
Okay.
Steve, those are Steve's hands.
Healthy beard growth, the whole bit. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Gets his vitamins. So we only have about 3.5 minutes left, so I wanted to give you guys an opportunity for some final words.
I'll let you take it away. I've been hogging the mic here.
I just want to say how fortunate I am to be able to have the job that I have with the county and be able to go out and educate our citizens about Splosh. Like I said, I've made the Civic Club circuit. I've done several town hall meetings and meeting people, and they learn something new. Even though most people know what Splosh is, and speaking with the different amenities that Carroll County has to offer and how we bring citizens together, and we also encourage people from other places to come in, and they're spending their money here. One of the biggest things that I've heard is, we talk about our parks department and how many wonderful things we have going on at our parks. And with COVID, we just saw such a huge influx. So a lot of your Splosh dollars are in our parks. And speaking about Morse Bridge Park, it's kind of the hidden gem of Carroll County. And I talk about that in a PowerPoint that I go through at these civic clubs, and most people have never heard of it. So I've gotten a lot of emails, believe it or not, of people. It's like, oh my gosh, we went down there and we explored Morse Bridge, and they saw the different cyclists that come from all over the southeast to come down here and cycle. So they're spending money in our community. So we have to spend a little money to make a little money, but we just want to encourage people to go vote. March 16th, early voting's going on now, and if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me or any of the commissioners. We will be happy to sit down and speak with you.
Love that. That transparency goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. It's funny too. You mentioned, because earlier when you were talking about the roads, I don't look like it now, but 20 years ago I was big into road cycling and with a lot of friends at the bike shops here in town, and we had our group. We had friends from Atlanta and places that came out to ride, but we would find strangers. Every weekend, there was just massive amounts of people who drove an hour away from Atlanta to come to Carroll County specifically because of our roadways, because of the maintenance of the road and also the terrain. But they loved our amenities, they loved our roadways, and they would come spend money and hang out. They spend weekends out here. So that's something to remember. People are coming here for a lot of different reasons. And I think, was it Frisbee golf is your biggest new golf thing? And people are coming,
I'm just now getting to accept that. I didn't realize that's such a huge world-class sport.
Yeah, the Greenbelt is just such a huge proponent here in Carroll County. I mean, people come from all over to enjoy the Greenbelt, and it's a very unique place here in the West Georgia area.
It is. So people are coming. They're spending their hard-earned money here. They love our community. They like our people. And love our community, like our people. But we need to get this thing passed. And it's just a renewal. It's the same. It's where we are now, and we need to keep these projects going so that we have a better life for us and better life for our children.
Excellent. All those amenities that keep people coming, keep folks spending money, and that cycle continues. All right, so the Facebook Town Hall meeting, it's going to be, you can go in person at the courthouse tonight at 6 p.m., or you can tune in on our Grady Communications Facebook page. COVID friendly, you can stream it that way. And also, don't forget, early voting's going on now for Splost. Elections next Tuesday, March 16th. Jay, what a pleasure. Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming on today.
Yeah, appreciate you having us.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.